Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Now it's probably not the video you were expecting today as we normally sit here and discuss a preview video, but maybe it's the video that you actually need right now as we can sink our teeth into more transfer news as a sprinklet of little information came out from the best in the business. The man that when he says it happens, Big Fab, if you know, has confirmed that a bid has been sent from Rangers to Swansea. Let's get in to all of this, people, and see what it's all about. Now, there's actually a couple things to note, by the way, before we get in and get the old ball rolling in today's video. One, I'm still ill. Yes, that's why I look this. Let's not get into it, people. And two, this news actually came out, Fab actually tweeted out a couple hours before about Rangers negotiating with Swansea regarding Mr. Whittaker and everything. And then the press conference came, the Rangers press conference, and Michael Beale himself has confirmed interest in the laddie. So we can't call today's video a Rangers rumour, it's just transfer news. So let's just get into the video then, shall we? And again, try and paint the picture properly of this potential signing and try to understand and try to see what's attracted Michael Beale and Rangers Football Club to the man himself. So let's go ahead and discuss it. As always, we'll start off with the player profile. Morgan Whittaker is a 22-year-old left-footed right winger. I know it never feels right to say that, but it is kind of in the modern game now, which is all built upon cutting inside and doing damage. The days of wingers getting chocks on their boots, running out, whipping balls in, are long over, people, and I think Morgan is a perfect example of where football is actually heading. Again, on that left foot, on the right side, cutting in and doing damage. And damage is something that this laddie has been doing, especially this season, and it's very interesting to look at Morgan and just see the clear progression and the jump up he's having almost every single year. Again, he's just a young laddie, but if you look at it season upon season, he's adding more and more and more to his game to where he is now, obviously linked with a move to us. Now, you're probably going to hear me call him the big man several times in today's video, and that's not because he's built like a brick shithouse, people. Nah. This man stands at 6'3", which embarrassingly, people, makes him the second tallest player in our starting 11. If you were to put him right in, right now, only Connor Goldson stands taller, which probably indicates a lot of our reasons why we concede so much from set pieces and struggle to deal with balls getting flung into the mixer. But that to one side right now. He's not a big bruising physical style player despite standing at 6'3". He is very, very tidy on the ball. I think I've mentioned that already. He's got very quick feet. And you're going to hear a comparison all the way through today's video, because if you remember when we sat here and talked about Todd Cantwell, and we talked about the fact that he's very similar to what we ask of Tillman and how he plays the game and everything like that. Well, there is a perfect example of what Morgan Whittaker is as a player that will register right away for all of us and just tell us almost everything we need to know about the style of player that he is. This guy is a Joe Aribo regen, people. Not only because he's left-footed and he can work on the right-hand side, but they're both 6'3" as well. And again, they're both so technically gifted and so technically driven about going forward and the wee flip-flaps and getting beyond people. It's scary when you actually start to put the pieces together. And if you look at them, it's almost like that Office meme where they've got two of the same images and she's like, it's the same picture. Well, you've got Joe Rebo here and you've got Morgan Whittaker here, and they're almost the exact same and at the exact same stage of their career when we signed Joe. Now, there is one main difference, people, and that's the fact that Whittaker is a lot more comfortable on his right peg than Joe ever was on that right. I mean, Joe barely used his right leg for standing, but Whittaker a lot more comfortable on that end. But again, there is so many similarities, and I think when you look at the player and you look at what he brings to the table, it seems as if Michael Beale is trying to recreate what he had in place a couple years ago with Joe Rebo able to cut in from that that right hand side, make things happen, be that ball carrier, get us going forward, flick balls on at the front post, I imagine, and everything like that. So I feel that was important to mention, people. Again, in case you've not got time to watch all the video, that tells you nearly everything that you need to know. However, it is worth mentioning as well that this man has not only just played as a right wing, he's played on the left, but the majority of his time has been spent playing in that attacking midfield role, which we'll break down in more detail at the competition for places, because for me, tells a very telling story. But that's the player profile. That's the type of player he is. Very, very clever, very direct with the ball, and quick at moving it around the old park as well. Now let's get to some numbers and stats then, shall we? And people were disappointed with the numbers and stats the last time when mentioning Todd Cantwell, and I can understand why, because they weren't impressive people. But if you love your numbers and stats, you're going to love what I'm about to say next, people. And just in case you got sick to death of the Joe Aribo comparisons, we're also not finished there yet either, because it all starts to tie in, people. But aye, this season up to the exact moment when I'm recording today's video on the 17th of January, Big Whittaker has played a whopping 31 games in which he has 9 goals and 7 assists, which again brings his goal contributions tally up to 16 and 31. Now that was for Plymouth on loan at League One, which right away I can imagine a lot of people is going to pause the video, write some abuse, saying we need better than League One, that's embarrassing, I'm not happy at this, I'm not happy that, it's too low a level, etc, etc. I can see what you're saying. However, again, pulling it back to the old Joe Aribo, when we signed Joe Aribo, also from League One, may I add, Joe Aribo had played 39 games with 10 goals and 5 assists. Very, very similar output again. I'm not really doing the man justice, and just in terms of his play, because it's not just his goals or assists. He was simply fantastic, winning Players of the Month and everything like that. He was brilliant at Plymouth, and all Plymouth fans are absolutely gutted that he was called back to Swansea in January, and it looks as if he was called back to move on up the road. But I'll try not to mention Aribo's name for the rest of today's video, people. Apologies, but when it's so blatant like that, and they're nearly carbon copy in terms of playstyle and their input and the level and the league that they were playing at when we signed them, you've got to actually mention it. But it is worth mentioning as well, people, that this is by far Whittaker's best season of football down playing at Plymouth, because again, he is just 22, people. People might look at it and say, oh, why didn't he know of his best years in the Championship? He was growing up in that level, and now again you can see the progression, you can see where he's going. He's had a massive jump up, and if he continues on that trajectory, fair enough, he could be a phenomenal player and could have the potential impact of a, you know, his name. But let's go ahead. Despite the fact that he is only 22 years old, let's have a look at the old footballing CV, which does sound ridiculous. But at the age of 22, he has played 105 games. He has 20 goals to his name, and he has 9 assists, which is actually very, very good. Now, I've took away all the reserve league and B league and youth level. That's just Championship and League One level and FA Cup and everything like that. That's the highest level. There's no youth stats to blind people or anything like that. That's just playing at the top level. And when you look at that, people at the age of 22 having 29 goal contributions in 105 games, that's actually really, really impressive, and it gets my excitement up a little bit, because I'll be honest with you, I'm very, very excited about the potential Todd Cantwell deal and everything like that. If he does come here, I was very excited in that, as I let everybody know, and I am still excited because I do think something will still be done in that aspect. But when I heard about this, and I was like, right, I need to do the video in a couple of days and everything like that. And I started looking, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I thought we were only adding players that would drastically improve the starting 11. That's what we got told. We're adding another winger to the club. This is not really what we need. We need a centre mid. We need a left back. We need a goalkeeper. What are we doing right now? But the mayor, I've actually looked at him, and the mayor, I've even just sat here and actually got all out and I almost heard myself speak, if you want. The more I can understand what Michael Beale really sees in this laddie. It's raw, but it's potential, and as he's shown throughout his career already, it's goals, because that's what he brings you. He might not always give you a 10 out of 10, but he gives you some creation and he gives you some chances. And if he does that here with getting a lot more of the ball, having a lot better players around him, and having the finishers, the likes of the Cholaks around him and all that, he could really be banging out some very, very impressive numbers. And again, at this league where we will dominate a lot of the ball, his quickness, his cleverness in and around the area could cause a lot of teams a lot of problems, especially if they try and throw the old hammer at the boy. He might make folk look absolutely stupid, people, because he has got that technical ability as well. But people, moving away from the old numbers and stats, we have looked at the player. Again, we've looked at his career so far. Now let's get to the old competition and start talking positions then, shall we? Because this is where it gets very interesting with Whittaker, because we mentioned right at the end of right at the start of today's video, he's primarily a right winger. He can play on his left, but he's much more effective in the other side. But he also plays in that 10 role, in that attacking midfield role as well. Very similar to maybe what we've got Tillman doing right now, being a part of the midfield three, but having that freedom to really push forward and go centrally. And it's that area of the park that I want to talk about right now, right? Because we know he's very, very good on the right wing, cutting in and doing damage. But if you look at this season, which again has been his best season in football already in his young career, he has played 15 of the 31 games for Plymouth in the centre area of the park, and he's actually scored 6 of his 9 goals from playing in that 10 role. So look out for that as well. Not necessarily just a right winger. He's shown this season how effective he can be centrally, and that might be something we see a hell of a lot more now if he does make the move to Rangers. But I just wanted to mention that briefly because everyone's just saying, what we signing a winger for that? I wouldn't necessarily call him that right now because again he's still so young, he's got plenty of time to evolve, and again this season when he's been given the opportunity to attack the centre of the park, he's having his most clinical performances from that area, again scoring 6 of his 9 goals in and around the old centre. So aye, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Of course we had the Fab reporting out the bids and everything that was received. Again, there's no actual fee out there, and I don't think we will get the real fee out there even when we do, or if we do sign the laddie. But if the numbers are believed to be true that's actually out there, it's around about 900 to 1 million of that. And if you look at that deal with the potential upside, again, it's very good, especially if he continues to grow as a player. But when I say he's the exact type of player we need right now to bolster our squad and make us stronger right now, I wouldn't say that, people. I wouldn't lie to you. But again, Beale has spoke several times, even today in the press conference for Kelly, he wants more goals in this team. And that's what this laddie can bring. So you can see why we're bringing him in. And I'm fine and I'm happy and I'm excited if we bring him in, as long as we address the other key areas that we need to strengthen up in this window. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the player profile. That's the old numbers and stats. And that is the old positions. Now, I hand it all over to you. That's everything you need to know about Morgan Whittaker. What is your thoughts and opinions? Do you think Rangers need to sign this lad? Are you happy with this potential signing, or do you hope it falls on deaf ears and it ends up going away? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And as always, I've been Sieging over 92. You might see me twice today, as I might actually fire out the old Kilmarnock preview as well, but knowing how YouTube is, they didn't promote 2 videos at once, so I don't think anybody would see it. But if you want to see the Kilmarnock preview video on that as well, and if you're going ahead and look for it despite YouTube going to kill the video on that, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make it for you as always. But until the next time I see you, which could be in a couple hours or it could be tomorrow, I've been Sieging over 92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye.